Resolution 12, to acknowledge receipt and review of the 2014 Municipal Water Pollution Prevention Environmental Audit Report for Crossgate Sewage Treatment Facility. Ward 8, District 9.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to have Director of Environmental Service Greg Gordon to speak about this briefly. I've had some people questioning the report. What it comes down to is an education process and how the report is put together and how some of the calculations. On Monday, with part of my district community, Ms. Pat Brister, the president's going to be there, myself, and President of Crossgates, to talk about issues in that particular area. Mr. Gordon?
Oh, yeah. Good evening. The information that's derived in this audit report comes from two main sources. First of all, in all of the influent, effluent data that is in that comes from discharge monitoring reports that are issued, that are taken from grab samples of the treatment plant. They are given signed by me and provided to DEQ on a monthly basis. So all the numbers that are in those reports are loaded into this report to show what's going on with the influent and the effluent of the plant. Thankfully, the plant did not have any exceedances on influent and or effluent. The other portion of this report deals with the collection system and repairs done to the collection system. Oftentimes that's somewhat subjective because we have to self-report overflows of the system. 2014, we had a lot of inflow problems into the plants and into the two lift stations in a specific area, the St. Luke's and the Phase 5 lift station. This year, we made some repairs to that. That had unintended consequence of an overflow in the last rain, which will be denoted in next year's report. But for that year, 2014, which is covered in that report, we had water coming into the system, which we treated, and we did not have any effluent overflows from the plant. The one thing that usually is a good thing to denote is Part 9, subjective evaluation, is where we go into what happened and what we had to do the collection system to make certain improvements. We notice what we'd say in there is that we did general maintenance. We replaced pumps as needed, and where lift stations needed to be renovated, we planned to renovate those. That was when we did the report from last year. We started those renovations late last year, and we finished them this year. So that will be denoted on next year's audit.
Other discussion? Mr. Bender?
Yes, Greg, I just have a question, okay? Because it just so happens that I happen to know a lot of people that live in a section of this, okay? I received phone calls about the question of the less than 1% of repairs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, okay. That's a
in the whole year of 2014, you're saying that that system required less than 1% repairs?
well. They're talking about sewer lines. So we did not do, in terms of sewer lines. There's about 126,000 linear feet of sewer lines in the Crossgate system. For this year, we know that we're going to repair one section of a 900-foot section on Crossgates Boulevard. So next year, that will be denoted in the report. But for example, 900 feet is probably 0.008 or 7% of the total linear feet of the system. So that'd be far below 1%. The year that's covered by this report, we did not do any major repairs over a couple of thousand feet to denote that any of those things would be over 1%.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Stefanczyk, you have it light on? You have a resolution to adopt this, a motion to adopt? Moved by Mr. Belsario, seconded by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? Administration, audience, please vote.
Mr. Ortiz? Motion is unanimous, 2 absent.
All right, is there anything else that needs to be addressed from the consent calendar? Hearing none, we will go to appeals.